ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So last time we were discussing about Bhagavad Gita. So today we are discussing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, because this Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the essence of all the Vedas, and especially on 2nd September we are celebrating Bhadra Purnima. So on this occasion, I'm just trying to share some of the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So first of all, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedas. Sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So he says that whatever standards the great souls they set, that is what the common men will follow. So the standards set by the pure devotees of Lord Krishna, like Pandavas, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. There are so many stories in this Srimad Bhagavatam. So these stories actually help us how to apply the teachings of the Supreme Lord in our life. Okay. So today we'll try to discuss the advent of Srimad Bhagavatam, how actually this Srimad Bhagavatam started, and then the contents of Srimad Bhagavatam in brief, and then the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So first of all, who is Parikshit Maharaj? So this Parikshit Maharaj, he is the grandson of the Pandavas. Okay. So in the Mahabharata, Kurukshetra war, so when all the Kauravas died, only this Parikshit, actually Parikshit was the only heir who was left from the Pandava side. Kauravas, everyone died. Their side only Ashwatthama was left. So he was very envious that they lost. So he wanted to destroy the lineage of the Pandavas completely. So he understood that this Parikshit is there in the womb of Uttara. So he released the Brahmastra to kill Parikshit. So Lord Krishna personally entered the womb of, because Uttara, the mother of Parikshit, she prayed. So Lord Krishna personally entered the womb of Uttara and he protected Parikshit Maharaj from that Brahmastra. Okay. So Parikshit Maharaj was Raja Rishi. He is the king. He is a king, but Raja Rishi is much more than being a king. So Raja is king, Rishi is a saint. So they are much more better than normal kings. Normal kings in this world, they are not them, if because they are not following the scriptures, they are not saintly. But in the previous times, the kings, they used to follow whatever is there in the scriptures, and they would follow the sages. So that's why they were called as Rajarishi. So first time Parikshit saw Lord in the womb, and later on when he took birth, he was searching for the Lord, for that same form which he met in the womb, which he saw in the womb. So that's why his name was Parikshit, one who was always watching, searching. Parikshan. So Parikshit. So he was ruling the whole Earth planet, and nobody could ever dare to kill anyone under his protection. He was so strong. There was no irreligion in his kingdom. Uh, so he was very responsible in taking care of the whole citizens. So eventually, Parikshit Maharaj saw there were lot of symptoms of Kali Yuga appearing in the kingdom. Many bad omens. So he saw that the dharma, the rules and regulations of dharma are being broken by people. So he went to conquer the world again to re-establish the supremacy. So there he saw that uh, bull, which is representing dharma, met cow representing Bhumi. So Mother Earth was lamenting. Hmm? So she was standing only on one leg. So in Kali Yuga, actually, people are not following any rules and regulations. They are breaking all the regulations, rules and regulations given in the scriptures. So that's why uh, the dharma is suffering in this Kali Yuga. So there, this Parikshit Maharaj, he saw Kali personified, who was actually uh, the main cause of irreligion. So he wanted to kill that Kali personified who was spreading irreligion. Uh, but that Kali personified, he asked benediction. Uh, so he asked benediction not to be destroyed and give him a residence. So then he said, okay, you can stay in those places where the gambling, intoxication, prostitution, and animal slaughter happens. So this Kali personified is spreading irreligion. So he said, in these four places you can stay. But then Kali personified said that I cannot stay. There is no place in your kingdom which has these things. Then he said, okay, you stay in a place wherever there is gold, like that. So then actually he went and stayed in the place where there is gold, like that. So this is the power of Parikshit Maharaj, that with his power he was not allowing any irreligion to enter his kingdom. Hmm. That was his speciality, or that was his power, that not even an inch of irreligion enters his kingdom. He was able to stop even Kali personified. Now, why Parikshit Maharaj went to the banks of Ganges? Because this is the place where actually the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. So once this Maharaj Parikshit, he went to the banks of Ganga. So first he entered the Shaimik Rishi's ashram, Parikshit Maharaj, and he was very thirsty after hunting for a long time, and he wanted water. But that Shamika Rishi, he was in meditation. He could not see that the king was there and he was thirsty. So out of anger, Parikshit, he kept a dead snake around his neck and he went away. So when the son of Shamikrishi, Shringi, he saw that his father was offended like this, then the Shringi cursed Maharaj Parikshit that he will die because of a snake bite in 7 days. So why Parikshit, who is considered such a great king, why he did like this? Actually, this was all arranged by the Lord so that Srimad Bhagavatam comes out. Okay, so that Srimad Bhagavatam can be given to the whole world. Sometimes Lord uses his devotees to keep them in trouble, to keep them in some disturbance. So when he was cursed, yeah. So when he was cursed, this king, he had the power to retaliate, but he did not retaliate. He gracefully accepted all this. And Shringi, the son of Shamik Rishi, who did this, he was scolded by his father. So Maharaj Parikshit, when he gets the news of curse, although he had the power to reverse the curse, he accepts it as plan of God and he leaves his mother Uttara and the family and kingdom. And then he goes to he goes to the bank of Ganges so that he can get into he can hear from the sages and leave his body. So Parikshit, when he leaves the kingdom, he gives the kingdom to his son Janmejai, so that the kingdom can be taken care of. So how and why this Srimad Bhagavatam descended on earth? So Vyasadeva, he wrote all these Vedic scriptures, right, for the people in Kali Yuga, because they cannot remember all the Vedas, so they are forgetful. Manda Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya hi Upadita. In Kali Yuga, people can't remember anything properly. So for the sake of Kali Yuga people, Vyasadeva actually kindly compiled all this Vedic literature. But still he was dissatisfied after writing all this. Okay. So seeing the dissatisfaction of Vedavyas, his guru, the guru of Vyasadeva is Narada Muni. Narada Muni appeared there to guide him because Vyasadeva was sincerely seeking help. So immediately his guru appeared there. And Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva to write Srimad Bhagavatam for the sake of all the people in Kali Yuga. So he said, because you have not actually broadcasted the sublime and spotless glories of the Supreme Lord, that's why you are not able to satisfy the senses of the Lord. Okay, that's why you are not satisfied. He said, unless you fully glorify the Supreme Lord Krishna, then only you will be satisfied. Because in the Vedas, Vyasdev wrote many subject matters. There is cosmology, there is Ayurveda, so many types of things are mentioned in the Vedas. Now he said, by studying all that, people may get distracted. They may not exactly know what is correct, what is wrong. So they will be confused. So he said you should write properly so that people know about Krishna and the glories of Krishna. So Ganesh Ji, he helps Vedavyas to complete the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So who is this Sukadeva Goswami? So actually Sukadeva Goswami, he is the son of Vyasadeva, and he heard Srimad Bhagavatam when he was in the mother's womb. Okay, so this Sukadeva Goswami actually is a parrot in the spiritual world who descended to this planet to recite Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of uh, all the Vedas. So just like if the fruit is eaten by a parrot, the fruit the fruit becomes more tasty, right? Same way, when Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, it becomes more nectarian. So Vyasadeva, he recited Bhagavatam to his wife while she was pregnant. And Sukadeva Goswami heard all the pastimes of Krishna and the devotees from his father, and he was self-satisfied. And when he heard the dangers of the material world, he refused to come out of his mother's womb for 16 years continuously. So finally, Vyasdev had to take the help of Krishna to request Sukadeva Goswami to come out. So finally, Sukadeva Goswami comes out of the womb of his mother after 16 years, and directly he starts going to the forest after taking birth, because he was completely detached from this material world. But when people saw him, they were confused. They were thinking he's a mad person. So finally, this Sukadeva Goswami comes to the banks of Ganges, where Parikshit Maharaj was waiting, and Parikshit understood he is not an ordinary person; he is a great saintly person. So ordinary persons sometimes cannot understand the greatness of the great personalities like Parikshit. They may not be able to understand. So finally, Parikshit Maharaj, he meets Sukadeva Goswami, and he inquires from Sukadeva Goswami certain questions. Okay, these questions are considered most important questions, because Parikshit Maharaj was on the verge of death, and on the verge of death he is asking, uh, what is my immediate duty? After proper deliberation, tell me the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die. So he asks these questions so that we all also can get benefited, because everyone has to die. Parikshit is dying in 7 days, but we may die at any moment. Srila Prabhupada says that we never know when we will die. Parikshit at least was knowing that he is going to die in 7 days. We may die even in 7 minutes. So not only Parikshit Maharaj was there, along with Parikshit Maharaj, there were thousands of sages from all over the world. There were sages like Atri, Chavana, Arishtanemi, Vasishtha, Parasar, so many sages, uh, from all over the world. They came, uh, and they were present uh, along with Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj actually, uh, why all these sages came, how Parikshit Maharaj was aware, how Parikshit Maharaj was able to know, or how all the sages came to know that the Sukadeva Goswami is also going to come. How come that they knew? So it is said that this is because of Super Soul Network. What is Super Soul Network? Super Soul Network means actually when someone is serious to know about uh, Krishna, Krishna actually arranges devotees to appear in their lives. So when Parikshit Maharaj was about to uh, leave this world, the news actually spread all over the world that very soon this king is going to leave this world. So the super soul in the heart of all the sages, uh, it is said that because of them, because of the super soul, all the people they came to know that this Parikshit is going to die, and we can go to the banks of Ganges and hear from Sukadeva Goswami. So previously there is no WhatsApp, nor there is other networks, but there is Super Soul Network. So this Super Soul Network helps people to be connected because Krishna is there in everyone's heart. And through the medium of Super Soul Network, everyone can understand uh, what is happening in this world. All the major events were informed. Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj very submissively surrendered to Sukadeva Goswami, and then Sukadeva Goswami started speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So he asked two important questions, uh, which is the basis of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he said, I am begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, and especially for one who is about to die. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Uh, so, he is about to die, because he is about to die now, so that's why he asked this type of questions, not only for the benefit of uh, himself, but for the benefit of the whole world. Actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam itself uh, is written or spoken using uh, it is spoken using Parikshit Maharaj as a medium, like that. Otherwise, it's not required. In the sense, for the sake of all people, it is written like that. One, yeah. So, hmm, 1 minute. Yeah. Now we'll see the contents of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the first canto, there are 12 cantos in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the first canto is named as creation. So how this whole creation came about, and it also contains the pastimes of uh, Pandavas. Hmm. So there are 19 chapters in this. So mainly, if you see, it contains the Pandavas' pastimes. Okay, and also it describes the various incarnations of Krishna in various ages. Okay, the second canto talks about the cosmic manifestation. So there are 10 chapters in this, and here the process of creation is further explained. Actually, first canto mainly has uh, the Pandavas thing, but The second canto and the third canto explains about creation. And also the calculation of time is also given here. Here the pastimes of Lord Varaha, the description of the spiritual world, and the pastimes of Hiranyaksha, Lord Varaha, these things are explained in detail. And towards the end, one more incarnation of Krishna, Lord Kapila, it is explained. So each of these verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, actually it has shloka, and then along with shloka there is word to word meaning, and also there is translation. Translation and purport also is there. So you get in detail explanation. And some of the cantos have two parts, like the third canto, fourth canto have two parts. First canto has more almost 900 pages. Each of this book has minimum 600, 700 or 800 pages, like that. So there are 18 volumes totally. And the fourth canto talks about few more incarnations, like Prithu Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. And also it talks about the pastimes of Lord Shiva and Daksha, who is the father-in-law of Lord Shiva. The fifth canto especially talks about the creation, how this whole creation came about. And also it talks about uh, the character of Jada Bharat. There are in each canto there are many pastimes, but I am just telling the major. And the unique thing about this is the whole planetary systems, how they are created. In detail explanation is given from 16th chapter onwards. And finally, the description of hellish planets is also given. Elaborate description, how many, the major types of hells, and how, which kind of people go to which hell, they are explained. The sixth canto explains the prescribed duties for mankind. So the Manus are considered the head of humanity. Okay. So Bhagavatam explains, actually in one day of Brahma, 14 Manus they take birth, and in each Manu there are thousands of years, and in each Manu many incarnations of Krishna appear. So in the sixth canto, mainly there are stories of Ajamil, Chitraketu. These are devotees of Lord Vishnu, but they were practicing Krishna consciousness, but because of some attachments, they could actually not continue their practice. But it shows still how the Lord protects them in spite of their leaving Krishna consciousness. So from these pastimes we can learn how we should be seriously practicing. So all these cantos, they explain all these wonderful stories, so that can be useful for not only uh, the elders, but even children also can study, read those stories and learn a lot. The seventh canto talks about the science of God, where especially it, major part of it talks about Lord Narsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so Prahlad Maharaj, he was only 5-year-old child, and he was instructed by Narada Muni when he was in the womb itself, and it tells how his father tried to kill him in so many ways, but every time he was depending on his uh, on the Supreme Lord, and Lord protects him. And finally, how Lord Narasimhadev appears and kills Hiranyakashipu. And then it describes about the instructions given by Prahlad Maharaj towards the end. So the seventh canto is mainly about it. The eighth canto elaborately talks about uh, Lord Vamanadev, who appeared uh, before Bali Maharaj, the king of the demons. So actually these stories, we should not think that these are all some imaginary stories. Actually these stories are real stories. They are not imaginary stories. Huh? So sometimes people think that these are all mythologies. So these are real stories which have happened in various planets all over the universe. And Sukadeva Goswami has taken the best of all the pastimes of Lord and his devotees to explain us. Okay. So in this Vamanadev, he becomes Trivikram and covers the three worlds. And also this talks about the pastime of churning of the milk ocean and how Lord appears as Mohini Murti. All that pastimes are explained in detail. So also it talks about the pastime of Matsya Avatar, the fish incarnation. Then the ninth canto talks in short about Ramayana and also the pastimes of various kings who got distracted. Uh, okay, who got distracted because of becoming too much materially attached. And also it talks about Parikshit, this Parshuram, King Parshuram, who was a Brahmana, but later on he, seeing the all the irreligious kings, he kills so many Kshatriyas. So that is explained in detail. And the 10th canto is considered the essence of all the remaining cantos. Okay, and this explains actually about uh, Lord Krishna specifically and all the various incarnations, all the pastimes about Krishna elaborately. So this is the biggest canto of all, and here there are 76 chapters, so many of all the cantos. So in this elaborately Krishna's activities are discussed completely about Krishna. So this is considered the essence of all Srimad Bhagavatam. Out of all the scriptures, Vedas, Bhagavatam is considered the essence, and out of all the Bhagavatam, 10th canto is considered the essence. So here Krishna's pastimes are being explained. But before understanding or studying this 10th canto, actually one should study all the remaining 9 cantos from first to last, first to ninth canto, because that 9 cantos help us to understand the greatness of Krishna. And after understanding the greatness of Krishna, one can understand the sweetness of Krishna. How great is God? Because in this, there are very sweet pastimes of Lord, but one may not understand them unless one understands how great is Lord. So all this is explained in the 10th canto. The 11th canto talks about again Lord Krishna instructing Uddhava. Just like he instructed Arjuna, he instructs Uddhava in various, just like in Bhagavad Gita, he talks about various kinds of yoga. Same thing he explains here. And also it explains how the uh, disappearance of the Yadu dynasty, how they got cursed and how they all left this world. 12th canto talks about Kali Yuga, especially what are the symptoms of Kali Yuga and what are the final instructions of Parikshit Maharaj. All this are elaborately explained like that. And the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam are also explained. And the symptoms of Kali Yuga in the future, they are also explained in detail. So there are some glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, this Srimad Bhagavatam is uh, translated in 56 languages around the world currently, and by 2017 it is translated in 108 languages. So there are 18,000 verses with 20,000 plus pages in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So if we are regularly read every day 10 pages, we can finish Bhagavatam in 5 years. It is considered Amal Puran because it deals with universal questions and highest answered. Unlike other Puranas which are focused on certain demigod and dealing with mode of nature, it is considered the best of all Puranas because there are 18 Puranas, and out of all that, this is considered the best. Okay, and there are different types of meters used in Srimad Bhagavatam poetry. Okay, so one who sincerely studies Srimad Bhagavatam and who properly hears and chants it with devotion will become liberated from this material world. Okay, so there are many examples of families who studied this Bhagavatam and became very glorious. Okay, so we have one example of this Her Grace Arudha Mataji and his son Radhika Raman Prabhu. So she taught this her son from childhood Srimad Bhagavatam, and this Radhika Raman Prabhu is he studied in the West. So he he developed such wonderful character, and he did his PhD, and he's also teaching Srimad Bhagavatam now to people all over the world. So by studying Bhagavatam, actually the whole family will get benefited. So the parents can actually study for themselves and also tell those stories to their children so that the children will also learn. Just like Shivaji Maharaj was taught the stories of Rama and Mahabharat by her mother Jijabai, same way we can also teach our children these values from childhood. Okay, so then surely they will get benefited. So Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, he actually translated all this Srimad Bhagavatam uh, until 10th canto almost, and even at the time of death. Now we will see in a short video how even when he was about to leave, he was translating this Srimad Bhagavatam. So he told that this is the best of his, the Srimad Bhagavatam are his ecstasies. So Srila Prabhupada used to sleep only 2-3 hours so that he would get up at 1 in the morning and write this. And because of his sincere efforts, we have Srimad Bhagavatam now. So now we'll see this short video where we can see how is translating.
Karma hetu.
Karma hetu. If you engage in devotional service, we get a different nature. And if we engage in the business of sense gratification, we get altitude.
And then that karma is tad dehopalabdhi hetu.
Yeah. And according to the association of different nature, we get a body. Karanam gunasammasya satasat janmajam. Therefore, we should always seek good association. Devotee association. Then on life will be successful.
And then last it says the gunas, satvadayo,
uh,
jnana vikshepa moha hetavaha.
then if we live with good association, then we cultivate knowledge. Uh, that means association. And man is known by his company. So, if we have the chance of association with devotees, then our character, nature, belong to by hearing, by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, this Rajagun Tamagun is subdued. Then Satagun remains. Nastapayasa avadve Nishtam Bhagavata. Then Satagun Tamagun cannot do us harm. Therefore, Varnashram Dharma is so essential that people remain in Sattva. Tamagun, Rajagun, Rajastama Bhava increases lust and gives Rajagun, Tamagun is subdued. Then Sattvagun remains. Nastapayasa avadve Nishtam Bhagavata. Rajastama Bhava increases lust and greediness, and that implicates the living entity to exist in this material world in many, many forms. That is very dangerous. Therefore, they should be brought into Sattvagun, that is establishment of Varnashram. How to bring people in Sattvagun with Brahminical qualification, very neat and clean, rise early in the morning, this Mangalarati and this, to stay in Sattvagun.
So we can see how Srila Prabhupada, even when he was about to leave this world, he was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the Bhagavatam until 10th canto, I think 14th chapter, he spoke After that, his disciples completed the remaining chapters. So here there is a verse glorifying such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to Supreme Personality Godhead, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and Vedic evidence, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction. Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed among human society out of their unlimited mercy. So, what sacrifice Prabhupada has done for all of us? He has gone at the age of 70 to Western countries to share this message of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In spite of getting 2 heart attacks and not having any help, he struggled so much. So Prabhupada used to say always that the Indians have the best of all the knowledge, but unfortunately they are not taking advantage. So you would say Bharata Bhumite Hoile Janmayar Janma Sartha Kari Kara Prabhupkar. So they should first of all take advantage of the knowledge they have and perfect their own lives, and then through that share that knowledge with the whole world. Okay. So in this month, as I said, we are celebrating this Bhadra Purnima. So on 2nd September, so we have some discount on this occasion. So the cost of, we have 3 languages mainly, other languages are also there, English, Telugu and Hindi. So the cost is reduced to 1000 rupees on each set. So there will also be online installation by His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. Whoever is interested, they can get it installed by him. So the costs of this Bhagavatam are already, I think, known to all of you. The English originally 7500. Otherwise, I'll just share. Before that, I also 1 minute. I want to share how. So we can take whichever language we want. So it will benefit us by, if you regularly read together, the relationships will also develop, keeping God in the center. And also the children will get benefited by learning the stories of great devotees, and they will develop interest in reading, leaving away the electronic gadgets, and they will grow as a very good individual, learning values right from childhood. And those who are old, it is a nice way to spend their last phase of life by connecting themselves to God. And this is how they can come out of all the unnecessary anxieties which we may have, especially towards the end, because Bhagavatam helps us to actually come out of all unnecessary anxieties and focus on the Supreme Lord. How Parikshit himself was able to focus at the time of death, we can also focus like that. So these are the reduced costs of different languages. So we will share the list of all these things in your group. Already you might have seen also. So those who are interested can contact that number which is there in the whatever we have sent pamphlets, and you can also fill that forms. Any doubts anybody has? So can we buy first canto? Yeah, we can buy. That's not a problem. So who is the mother of Sukadeva Goswami? I don't know exactly. I don't remember. I have to find out. So anybody has any specific doubts regarding